Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're joined by Zokuru, somebody I revere very highly as an ADV player, especially at tournament level. Zokuru, say hello.
Hello.
So today we're going to be looking at one of what I've considered to be one of the most well-rounded teams in Advanced, which is your kind of MiloDol, Bliss, Doll thing. I don't know what you call it really. Do you have a name for it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's actually untitled in my team builder.
Oh wow, that's pretty disappointing, man. But no, I'm only messing. But yeah, we're gonna go through the team. I consider it just to be one of those teams that really covers everything in the tier, at least as much as reasonably as you can. And I'm a big fan of it. I don't use it that much because I find it's a bit slow, and I'm a ladder player. I need to play, a lot of games at a time. But it's definitely a lot of fun and really, really good, especially, just kind of covering the meta quite well overall. So first one we're going to look at here is the T-Tar. So give us your reason for choosing these EVs on T-Tar.
Okay, so the HP benchmark is really easy. It's just a Starmie Hydro Pump benchmark. So you will leave Starmie Hydro Pump 100% of the time unless you get crit, but you can't account for that. So yeah. Then the defensive benchmark lets you leave Mash from Beta Growth, non-bonder, and Mega Horn from Hero Cross non-bonder, I think. You leave that.
Mega Horn from Ada.
So that I don't think it's Ada, but I think you leave July, or you have a good shot at leaving Ada. I don't remember exactly.
That's
but
nice.
I know I know you can leave Horn from Hero Cross, so that might be handy, and you're really happy to EQ Beta Cross too. So
yeah. Exactly. And these EVs obviously have the added effect of being able to kind of allow you to always take maybe a meteor mash after a spike or whatever it might be, or maybe a +1 EQ. So they give you much better chances of doing that, and just it really allows you to get into the game more.
Yeah, but in practice, the way it is the most useful is because it allows you to turn Tyranitar into a pretty decent Gyarados check, because Gyarados is always a big threat to stones, and with
he's always what? Sorry, just kind of cut off there.
Yeah. Okay, so Gyarados is always a big threat to stones.
Oh yeah.
And if you can take +1 Earthquake, or actually I think you can take +2 Earthquake after leftovers, or maybe after 2 leftovers, so you have to pivot a bit. It allows you to check Gyarados, and with a melodic team that's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Even if you are Scammery, yeah, that may be tough. So that's the next thing. Also, just having some bulk allowing you to take Earthquake from Snorlaxes or things like that. I think Tyranitar with some physical bulk is always nice. Also, it helps you to leave Dugtrio really easy, even after 1 or 2 spikes. You leave Dugtrio July, so that's good.
Yeah, you're surprising a lot of guys coming in thinking they're getting that revenge or whatever, and then they end up getting you down to 1 or 2%.
And it dies to Dugtrio, dies to Earthquake, and it frees up a bit your Blissey, and that's really, really nice. So yeah, that's the thing.
That's really nice.
And for the move, just physical T-Tar with HP bug, because I think Celebi can be really troublesome for the team.
Yeah.
Every set of Celebi, the defensive one, because it will put your mons into range you don't want your mons to be, and the offensive one is really obvious why, especially paired with Dugtrio or things like that. You don't want Celebi to be pacing boosts, so HP bug +4 is a good countermeasure to it. And Rock Slide or Strike is just you eat everything, and that's good. And maybe you don't eat like Flygon or so, but it's not really a thing anymore. And anyway, it's not very dangerous. So yeah, just eating stuff will help you with spikes. I mean, you will be able to shuffle spikes on Milotic, Swampert, etc. So you can break if you need. So yeah, that's just talent stuff. So yeah, the one is great, and you wanna use it, you use it.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a really interesting insight. Now, the move we haven't covered is the move that actually drew me to this team in the first place. It's really the cream of the crop for me. Roar here. It's an interesting kind of last move here. Most people wouldn't opt for that. Why have you chosen to use it?
Because I wanted to be able to. Okay, so this team is maybe can beat Zokuru and Snorlax and stuff like that, but it's really handy if you can make them be the last one, or if you are able to make them take some spike damage beforehand, and you can easily force them to rest, but you have a tough time to force them out. And with War on Talwinter, you are able to do that again and again and again, and you are not like, I mean, if you face a Suicune and a defensive Suicune, for example, and you have to rely on Focus Punch to force it out, and if the Suicune is faster than you may lose your Talwinter to the Suicune, and maybe you will revenge give it with the trio. But if suddenly there is a Snorlax in the back, you are not able to beat Snorlax anymore, and you just lose the game. So, Roll makes you able to reliably beat the bulky setups like this, and it's also cool because you can break Milotic with Roll, and you cannot break it with Focus Punch, because you just do very cheap damage, like 30% of something.
Yeah.
So yeah, War makes you able to kinda heal back with leftovers, because if you come on Zapdos, for example, shorten it with Rock Slide, and maybe you can Quick Roar, and it will break on the switch, and maybe it will bring the Zapdos again, and suddenly you gain the 12% of health back, and maybe you can continue to do that, and that's a good move to heal.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's also an option to consider.
I just love the way it allows you to kind of avoid all the BS, like, you know, all the BP stuff. You know, Zap is out, maybe you don't want to go Slide because he might go Pert or he might go Meta, so you hit Roar, especially if you have a spike up. You're not only revealing more of the team, but you're also getting that extra chip damage. So it's a really nice move to have in that last slot. I really like it, especially versus BP and kind of CM setup stuff. So we're going to move on to Milo here. So I'm not going to spend too long on Milo. This is a pretty obvious one. I don't know if you're looking at the same EVs I am. I have this at 210 speed. I think I might have bumped this up to 210 just to help against a lot of things, because a lot of things kind of set it like 207, 208, 209.
You're just actually the benchmark is just to beat Marowak. You are outspeeding Marowak, and that's all. That's just the benchmark. Yeah, I wanted to beat actually,
so
because
you're 208, is it?
Yeah, but you creep a bit more because that's ADV, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to go for the view.
I think you are showing the export with toxic Milotic, right?
You were able to what? Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I think you are showing the set with toxic, right?
Toxic, yeah.
Yeah. There is actually the option to go Mirror Coat over toxic if you are paranoid. If you are paranoid with Sliptalk Modest, because it's a set right now, and it beats the team really easy. So if you Mirror Coat plus 6 Surf, you actually kill it no matter what. So that's cool to know.
That helps against the CM rest talks at the sleepy one, the one that likes to throw out some moves in its sleep. Yeah, +4 or +6 rather, and your team wouldn't otherwise have a way of beating that, seeing as you don't have Hariyama on this for the knockoff. So you'd be forced to go for Miracoat here as a last. Honestly, I'd rather just run Toxic and just hope that my opponent isn't one of those sadistic weirdos who brings, CM rest, Sleep Talk. I hate that set. Oh my god.
Yeah,
no respect.
there is also there is also the benefits to be able to surprise Zapdos previous Zokuru kind of team or judge a team with Spike. So you don't have to switch versus those and just click mirror code and kill them. So you are freeing up Blissey somehow. And it may also surprise Gengar. So threaten your Cradle too hard. It's pretty cool if you can predict the T-Bolt from Gengar. Therefore it's not booming your Cradle and you can spin. So yeah, but overall Toxic is better just because of the men's matchup, the mixed men's one, but non-code can be a resistant player also. I'm just mentioning.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Toxic allows you to beat DD Mens and whatnot, I suppose. Not that you don't already with a lot of things here, but just gives you much better options. So let's move on. I'm not going to get too stuck on that one because it's kind of a bit of a standard set. Here we have what keeps a lot of people up at nighttime. It's one of the biggest kind of things that shuts offense down, or at least special offense down in ADV. It's the big blob, the wall, Bliss here, S-Toss, Ice Beam, T-Wave, Softball. So what's the reasoning for using all of these sets?
Okay, so I wanted Seismictos for sure because it helps with forcing Suicune to rest, so that was mandatory. Also, T-Wave is good versus Suicune. T-Wave is actually better versus Suicune than Toxic, so I wanted that. And also crippling Gengar and crippling Metagross and crippling Tyranitar, Aerodactyl, and all the offensive mon, the mons you're gonna play in offense and mixed offense. And mixed offense is really powerful versus Tool in general, even if I have a Milotic, but anyway, physical spam is also really weak to T-Wave. And a lot of offensive teams are weak to T-Wave, and also it eats Snorlax, so that's really good. So T-Wave was just really good here. And in conjunction with Seismictos, it can beat a lot of teams alone, so that's pretty nice. Softball is really obvious, and Ice Beam plus these IVs let me beat OHKO the trio after one spike for the less double Q1, and after two spikes for the more bulky one. So it makes that my Bliss isn't trapped, and that makes a difference in a lot of games. Also, I put a lot of EVs on my defense because I want to be able to take hits from Aerodactyl, Tyranitar, Metagross, Snorlax, and so on if needed, to paralyze them or just to beat them 1v1 in the late game scenario. So I just chose that, and
it really seems like
that's all.
It's either bold Bliss or no Bliss. It's kind of bold is basically the standard at this day and age, and you need to be investing in at least 236-ish for bold, just because you get so much out of each EV in that stat with that high HP stat. So yeah, bold Bliss is it's insane. So what's the HP and the speed stat here? What are they for?
Actually, I don't remember. I know this was the IVs used on the EB. I changed the. Actually, this team it was a variant of the EBDM team with Ayama, and I think that was the IVs he was using. For the HP or the speed, or maybe I took the HP from Eden Umbra's team, or I don't remember, but it worked well this way, so I just keep it up. I kept it up. I don't really know if that does something specific, but I'm pretty happy with those, so I just.
Yeah. I'm guessing it could be like the 24 might be to outspeed maybe mixed meta or something like that, or maybe Purse with a bit of jump, or just outspeed other Blissies for S-Toss. And I think the 32, it could be to get to a jump point so that you don't take 17% after the second layer spikes, and instead you take 16, something like that maybe. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe.
But let's get the Scarm anyway here. Let's move on. So you're running 20 speed, 244 plus, and 244, so you're gonna evening out the split F there. Lefties. Okay, so let's have a look at this set. So why have we chosen this set?
Okay, so it is Dual Peck, Toxic, Spike, and War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I changed it a lot, so I don't know if you had the same moveset.
Yeah, that's the
But
one I'm looking at right now.
So Toxic is good because you just eat Swampert, you eat everything, so that's good.
Oh wait, sorry,
Dual
you
Peck.
say Toxic? I'm looking at Drill Peck, Protect, Spikes, and Roar, sorry.
Oh, okay. So Dual Peck Protect is nice too. I use Toxic right now. You can use Protect too. Both are really good. You can use both. Actually, it doesn't change too much. I like Toxic right now because I feel Protect is a bit too passive.
Alright, well,
Versus
Toxic
Magneton.
because this is the Zokuru MiloDol stall, not the Disno MiloDol stall. So
No, actually, I ditched Protect because I was using it too much, and I was punished by Magneton, and I didn't want to be punished by Magneton, so I said, okay, screw it, I'll not use Protect, so this way I will be more careful. But Protect is fine too. I like Toxic because you can put some stuff on the clock and stack your scout for that, and that's always something you are cool with. Also, putting Zapdos and Joker on the clock is good if they want to switch into you. But I actually don't use Toxic that much. I often just use Drill Peck, Spikes, and sometimes more. So the moves are self-explanatory. I'll just talk a bit about Drill Peck. Basically, used to beat Focus Punch, Snorlax, Heracross, and Claydol, and somehow a bit Fortress, but Fortress isn't really a thing, so...
No, not at all, really. Yeah, particularly Claydol is a big one.
And it helps versus Gyarados too, and some other stuff, but yeah, that's just an attacking move.
Oh yeah, I suppose Gyarados and DD-Mans, yeah.
Yeah, and for the spread, actually just that I squeezed it up. I tried to put the most speed I could without having two bad rolls versus Magneton. So I lowered special defense as much as I could without losing too much on the Magneton side, and that's all. I just put that into speed to win the speed type, the quote-unquote speed type versus also scam towards them, and and that's all. And well, that's Camori. It's ATV's Camori. There is nothing to stay on that.
Yeah,
you can use whatever move to come in some way. Sometimes if your opponent really like Magneton, you can go wild and use Yolo Scam on this team, and it could work. So yeah, let's just go for it, and it may be.
So Zokuru, you talk a little bit about bad Skarm resets. What's an example of a bad Skarm reset? Because this one looks pretty solid at the moment, but there are some sets out there that really aren't getting the most out of Skarm. So what would you say those sets are?
You can be experiencing some stuff with Skarmory and end up with bad results. One of the things I tried was Thief Skarmory, and actually that was very, very bad.
Which Skarmory? Sorry, did it just cut out there?
Thief Skarmory.
Oh, Thief Skarmory, yeah, that. Oof.
Yeah. The idea was that you try to do Volcon Pressure with Aryama, because, well, you don't need a knockoff Aryama if you have Thief Skarmory, but yeah, actually, so I don't use that. Or maybe in a very, very offensive team on a Yellow Scarf, maybe it can work, but
God,
yeah.
I hate that monster.
Otherwise, it's not good. Also, I guess, I think non-Drill Peck Skarmory are bad in modern ATV.
Really?
But
so just kind of, they can't be used anymore at this stage, you would say. The classic whirlwind.
That's just my feeling, but I think it's really bad, but I've seen people use that and it still work for them, so I guess it's okay, but really I don't like that. Also, I didn't mention that Dual Peck is good versus Gengar, because I feel like Gengar isn't in a good shape right now in the meta game, but of course, Dual Peck is strong versus Gengar.
Yeah,
it's just that
especially ones
I
that
cannot
are
forget about it.
Fire Punch,
Yeah.
Bolt, and whatever, because they're not actually 3 KOing on the spot, so you can actually really put those things into a scary spot, especially after getting some lefties recovery. So let's move on to Claydol. I don't want to spend too long on like Skarm and Milo and stuff because they're kind of basic. Doll here has some interesting EVs, and it's also a set that you've kind of revolutionized really this new Doll set. Kind of take us through it. Let's start with the set.
Okay, so it is I changed a bit the it's not actually my spread. It was the Adamant Claydol was actually a passage thing that was coming from something Elena started to use, that was Brave the Claydol. So Brave Claydol became Adamant Doll when Passage just do the calc, and he realized that Gengar was 2 HKO'd by negative nature Claydol with Psychic if you put 36 IVs in special attack. So it was enough, and you didn't have to lose into speed. Okay, so why do you want to use an offensive Claydol with such a high speed? It's because you are beating the Pro Street Tyranitar plus Gengar cores with a Scramble. That was a huge staple on TSS in the past years, and so you are actually spinning versus pretty everything. Also, I think a good means that you are doing some okay damage to Snorlax, Jirachi, and some other stuff, and Metagross too. This way you aren't just sitting there and waiting to be smart. You can actually corrupt the opponent momentum, and if your opponent have less momentum, then it is harder for them to hit you, and so you take less hit. And if you take less hit, you are gaining the advantage in the late game more quickly, and then you can do your job as a stall better. So it's just helping you play the long run. Also refresh, just beat every non-Trillpex Karmori. And even Trillpex Karmori, you can manage to PP stall Trillpex with leftovers. It's actually something you can do, and that's really fun. So yeah, also I think the attack here is enough to HKO most Tyranitar.
Which Tyranitar?
And most Tyranitar, like.
Oh, most, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you are 2 HKOing mine. I'm not sure, but.
No, I don't think you would. But I think you may be able to have a roll against Sub Punch Tar, against 252 HP Tar, I think. Just based on those EVs.
Yeah. Anyway, any Pro Street Tyranitar or GG1s, you will 2 HKO them, and that's all you need. And just you with the speed, you can even spin versus some stuff and just die and did your job. And it's actually pretty cool in conjunction with the trio, because versus non-spikes team, it's a fodder of choice to revenge kill stuff with the trio. Okay, I'll explain something here. That's really important when you use this team. You want to protect Milotic at all costs versus mixed offense. Especially those mixed offense who use Metagross to bait your Milotic and boom on it. The thing is that you will go to your Claydol versus those Metagross. If they boom your Claydol, you are fine with that. And if they kill your Claydol with 2 Meteor Marsh or something like that, you can weapons kill them with Zokuru, and then suddenly your Milotic is safe, and Milotic will have a really good matchup versus those mixed offense, especially the ones who rely on Metagross to boom Milotic, and then support, offensive support to wreck apart the source teams and the DSS teams. So this Clado is really a key part on this match, and that's something I wanted to stay here because it's a really important part of the gameplay.
Okay, well, that's quite an extensive coverage. I really like it. I love the set. I think I remember Passy running it on ladder with the refresh cloister as well, which is pretty funny. I think McMegan also did a variant of this where he ran it with max speed instead to outspeed every single variant of T-Tar and Metagross. Well, maybe not Sonic Metagross, but yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, so the EVs here, what's the 28 speed for? Is that just speed creep?
Yeah, it's just speed creep. I don't remember why I did that, but maybe it was for some. I don't know. Okay, so no, I remember. I think that this way, I think I wanted to be outsped, or I think it is Tone Scarm creep, some small Tone Scarm creep.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe it has something to do with stones, or maybe just some creep for Tita or something like that.
Yeah, it's not super important anyway.
It's not very important.
Yeah, so let's move on to Dougie here. So we're looking at standard Dougie set here. Jolly, max speed. So you've gone for 32 HP, 4 SPDF. What's that for?
I just copy paste a spread for the crew. Actually, you can use whatever spread you want, as long as you outspeed most stuff. Actually, I
don't think it matters too much.
Right now on my builder, it's actually 252 because right now I'm playing on my smartphone, and
so it's just
so I just slide the bars and it was good to go.
It's just a bit more awkward there, yeah. That's kind of how I prefer to run it, really, because getting that extra attack in there multiplied by 1.5 is so important. It allows you to get extra HP bug damage on Celebi, extra earthquake damage on Starmie, Metagross, T-Tar. We can go on about this for days. It's I think it's 252 is just the best spread, to be honest. You're not living Blizzy's ice beams anyway, whatever you do, so there's no point trying.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some replays, because we've spent a lot of time theory modding here. And
wait a second. Actually, right now on my current export, I ditched what's called rock slide, and I use Screech instead, so I can beat last one Snorlax in Suicune, while the rest I can come and Screech them. Then I sack something, and then I will. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. And that probably helps versus Suicune too, honestly.
Yeah, on last month Zokuru and last month Snorlax, and also something really important I didn't even consider, but I just realized lately, is that with those Trish, you actually lose on turn 1 versus last mod Curse Rampart. And
oh my god.
That was really bad.
Yeah, Curse Swampert. That thing is actually a pain in the ass. Especially if you don't have HP Grass or some form of hard special attacker that isn't weak to Ice Beam. So let's, before we go insane about Refresh Swampert, let's start looking at some replays. So the first one we have here is versus Tomahome. So you just bring that up so we can view it together here. Okay.
I have it on my screen.
Okay, so I'm just going to play right now, so I'll play it on we'll skip a bit. So lead Milo, you were running lead Milo at this time, so you double Scarm, it's a nice double, and then you're roaring out just to scout for the mag here.
Yep.
He reveals that he's special tar, so you know Milo is really important in this matchup. Getting some nice chip here on laps, and then you're happy to stay in for one, maybe predicting a switch, or just knowing that you can always come in and take point.
I know it's a non-rest Snorlax, so I want to weaken it as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Scarm comes in here, does take another focus punch, but now here you go for the drill peck. So that's a ballsy play, but it works out really well because now he's probably in range of Dougie, and you get that extra HP from Scarm. So you do actually go for another one here. That's interesting. Now he probably is likely to switch here. And then what do you opt for? You go for another.
Yeah, I just begged to be safe. Actually, I didn't mind. I know I just keeping gaining lefties and eating some stuff, so it's good.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then you know that as well. You've got that mixed tar answer out here, and you just go straight for the ice beam. So you probably didn't have T-wave at this time.
I had T-Wave, but I didn't want it to just do bullshit stuff, and I wanted to eat Doctrio too, because or stuff like that, because there is no spikes, so I'm not sure I can beat Doctrio 101. So I just wanted to eat it if it comes. It's nothing wrong trying to.
Yeah.
Even if it's most likely it doesn't have it, but it's cool to cover it. And then, okay, so we are turn 18, and my Doshio died to nothing.
Well, I'm just looking here at turn 17. So, oh wow, you were slower. Wow.
Yeah, on the first edition of the team, Doshio was actually adamant, and I didn't realize, and I sent it, and it died.
Oh my god. That's embarrassing. No, I'm messing. But I recognize this Tama home team. I have this in my builder. It is HP Rock Gyarados, I think. I think he's got Endeavor Pert. It's mixed Pert, and then it's mixed Mence as well. Yeah, and then he goes for CM Raji, he goes for Super Raji. I had that as a mixed Raji, but yeah, it's a nice Tama home team. It's a bit weak to Starmie actually, but yeah. So we're going to see here at this stage in the game, Milo is now in business because his Gyarados does not have Taunt, which is kind of a fatal mistake, I suppose. You don't have to run Taunt, actually most people don't run Taunt on Gyarados, but it just allows you to beat Rest, Coon and whatnot, and kind of Toxicers and whatever. So we're going to see Milo here just kind of doing what it does, stalling Endeavor Pert, and if I'm just clicking on him, about 30 turns in, he brings out Gyarados on T-Tar.
Okay, so yeah, I see that on the Earthquake here.
So he is gonna, yeah, plus 1 EQ is doing what, 78? You really eat those up with this guy. Now you stay.
Yeah, it does 0.
Wow. Okay, so that was a huge play. Now you're gonna bring in Milo on his Tar. His Rachi is back up to 71, which is pretty high. He's probably trying to chip you down so we can get Rachi in here, yeah. And now you go Tar again, so his last move is probably Fire, so he can't really do that much. He's probably gonna Ice. Oh, he's T-Bolt. Okay, so you have what? Do you have T-Wave here? Is this the Revelation? Yeah, so this is where Blaze.
Yeah, I think I have T-Wave.
Because he can't, oh, he actually T-Bolts there. But he actually 1v1s that variant of.
Okay, yeah, that's something really important. I'm not T-Waving right away, because if I T-Wave into a Swampert, that will activate its Like Berry on the T-Wave turn right now.
Okay.
I would be in huge trouble dealing with that Jirachi, because it can just endeavor something, and I have no choice but to let Blissey die on the endeavor, and then I'm just too awed by the Jirachi, so I didn't want to let Swampert come on T-Wave. That's why I Seismic Toast right away.
Exactly, and then you basically are into a Milo 1v1 versus Tar where you're forced to recover, and you actually win the recover versus Endeavor play because he doesn't have sub, so he's limited to 8 attempts to try and beat you, whereas you can recover a lot more times than that, giving you kind of a lot more comfortability there. Yeah, and then who was faster between Milo and Tar? Was this Tar faster?
My Milo was
faster. Yeah, so
but,
that was kind of a mistake on his part too. Yeah, so that was a really interesting game versus Tama, who's an ADV legend. He's one of the best players in many of the old Gen 2s. You can play it at the very highest level, so interesting, that game. What was that game for, actually? Forgot to mention.
It was a Classic 5 playoff.
Classic 5 playoff, alright. Well, here we have a game versus Zomog. So I'm going to switch sides here. I can't switch sides, alright, but here we have a game versus Zomog. So do you have that game up?
Yeah, I'm on the game. Maybe you can Yeah.
Alright,
I'm on the game.
So he's running what we know to be Sonny's Hera Molt Vino team. Vino Molt or whatever. I actually don't think Vino Molt is even a good core, but people seem to like it.
I don't like it as well.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's just too mixed weak, and it just, I don't know, I feel like you have to do a lot if you want to win games. You have to really play well. Doesn't give you great odds. It's actually the kind of team you want to play against from, you want your opponent to have really from that perspective. So here he misses a couple of sleep powders, and you'd opted not to T-Wave.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I don't want to be running into a Doctoro or something, or Ice Beam is as good as T-Wave here, so if he misses, I'm fine with just Ice Beam the Veloso. I don't want to T-Wave into stuff that I'm not willing to T-Wave, so I just Ice Beam and see what's coming.
And so here, you play Grand Hera really well. You scouted for Focus Punch. And then you get 2 layers of spikes up, so you're actually faster than Pert too. It looks like he's running a slow variant of Pert. It looks like his team is going to be really, really rough versus Skarmory, because you've got the 2 layers up.
He's coming with Veloso and just trying to HP fire my Skarmory, and I think I just go Cradle here. No, I go Blissey, okay, on the spotter. I think I should have go Cradle right away, because I know he isn't clicking the grass move here, but yeah. And then I go Cradle on the Leash Shield, and he's kinda forced to click Water here, I think. So at least Chigar, and I go to Skarmory, so I played well on this part.
Yeah.
And maybe right now
as well would be go Blissey and then kind of double the Dougie on the Leech Seed, but it's a bit too risky. Yeah,
so right now I sack the Cradle on the sleep, and right now I know that Veloso isn't doing anything to my team. I can just spam Blissey and Skarm and beat it really easily.
Exactly. That's the problem with Blissey. It's just one of those mons where with Vino, it doesn't have an offensive output. It doesn't really do anything on the offense. So we're going to see a drill back here on Pert. Now Pert's getting weakened. Your T-Tower is physical, so getting Pert out of the game would be huge.
I'm not really worrying about support, because I know in the long run he will just lose to Milotic. I just wanna beat his offensive momentum, and when my opponent cannot bring offensive stuff at me anymore, he will just lose in the long run, so I'm just fine kinda waiting for him to die.
Exactly, yeah.
I think I'll just like...
be really, really tough as well.
Yeah, I just spam recover versus the Swampert because I have 32 PPs, so I'm really, really fine just spamming it, and it's forced to switch out, and it brings Freezer.
Alright, so I'm skipping on to the part now where his Hera is in on your Blissey, turn 26. His Focus Punch.
Yeah.
So again, you're always happy to give up Skarm too, because you do have Dougie. As long as you can stop him from subbing, you're fine here.
Yes. And that's why the Rollbox Skarm is really good. And that's why you don't wanna face Selak sub course, but that's another story.
Again, you're always going back to Milo on the Pert, even if you don't have to, just because you really just know that Milo beats Pert 100 times out of 100, and
I'm not taking any risk. Yeah, that's just a guaranteed win if I do that, so I don't have to be in a hurry.
So I'm gonna skip on a bit. I'll see what the next big event is. So Vino gets ice beamed, and then you switch lovely. You make a lovely switch out to Metagross, to Skarm on his Metagross. And he's gonna reveal his Smash, so he's probably CB looking at that set.
Yeah, that must be that because he's kinda weak to... Oh, he got the raise on Milotic, that's really bad.
That's an interesting play.
But I can sack MiloDol and revenge kill with Zokuru, so I'm fine.
Yeah. So, well, that's actually not necessarily a KO there, but what's dangerous about that actually, I suppose, is you get another sleep off. I guess you can kind of sack Scarm the next time he wants to sleep someone.
Yeah.
So.
Or I can sack Tigerita, actually.
Yeah. So now you're getting drill pack damage off of Moltres, and that's important too because that puts Moltres in range of Surf.
Yes. But I have Blissey plus Milo, so I'm really well covered. So
Molt is not the big fear today. So he's going to go Terra now on Blissey. So he's really struggling versus Spikes. So here we see Focus Punch come out doing 60. Scarm probably just going to have to fire off a drill pack again here. He gets the crit, which is pretty unfortunate. I don't know if that killed, but you are going to get the
I don't think I really care because I just ran skill with my Doctor.
Yeah.
And I think I clicked draw here. Yeah, because if I click Earthquake, I can be in trouble because.
Flinch away then, yeah.
Yeah, because he may click Earthquake again, he kill my Tita. Then I have to range kill with the trio and maybe. If my Milotic gets crit on the switch by the swamp port, I can lose the game or something, I don't know. So I just click 4 and I know I'm 100% safe to win the game.
Exactly. Again, this is why Roar is so good. It just helps with so many things. And at this stage, there's a 100% weight for you to win this game. It's pretty much impossible to lose.
Yeah, I conclude. Even if he freezes me, he will have hard time passing Blissey.
Yeah.
Because it's a defensive support, and I'm ball Blissey, so it should be okay. But yeah, it's better if I can beat it with Milo actually.
And you're always sacking T-Tar here as well, yeah. It's the perfect play because Dogtree obviously will kill from 68.
Yeah, and if it's DD, I can just roll it and he cannot DD twice. Even if he leaves Earthquake from Titar here, it's just not DDing twice, so it's dead. And yeah, I have Blissey beating Moltres, and whenever support will come, I will be able to slam the trio to heal my Milotic, and that's 100-0, I cannot lose this. So will be Will-O-Wisping and stuff like that, but there is no way I'm losing it. No way.
Yeah, and now he's just looking for hacks that aren't going to come because there's pretty much no way he can win this.
Yeah. I'm just recovering and yeah, I think maybe I clicked Surf here. Yeah, because I know he's in the true range. I'm clicking Toxic, yeah, because I know even if he freezes me, if it's poison, then I'm winning 100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, the game is won at that stage. That's how you win with this team. It's just kind of neutralizing the opponent's big threats, kind of identifying them early, neutralizing them with Doggy or whatever it might be, a couple of spikes, and then just Milo Bliss, just nothing can break them. That's kind of how this team works. It's really good at that. So let's have a look at the game versus X-Ray now. So this is the last game. This is the last one we wanted to showcase today. So this was, I think this was the Callus Invitational's play-in, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that was that.
See, Callus Invitational 3 play-in. So this is versus X-Ray. So we see the lead Selby with Baton Pass and then Milo. That could often mean, maybe an SD Pass team.
Yeah, maybe that, and we'll see that's actually that. So right here, oh shit, my scan is trapped, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Man, the Mason dropped. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's the cheekiest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is terrible. But it's funny. So
he was using a lot of Magneton, so I knew I was beating him easily with Euroscar.
Were you running Jolly Soft Sand or were you running Ada?
I think I was using. Wait, do I have leftovers? Yeah, so I was running Ada, I think.
Ada still outspeeds HP Fire anyway. And looking at his team, he kind of has to be HP Fire because Fari is such a problem. Alright, so here is why Roar Tower is so good. It's just one of the reasons why we don't have to HP Bug here. We don't have to Focus Punch because Roar, it's just so nightmarish for those types of baton pass teams.
I'm just covering option, and I don't have to commit, and that you don't wanna commit when you're using a stall. You just wanna covering as much of the option as you can. And right here, I really don't care about the meta growth because if my melodic doesn't wake up and dies, but then my Doctor will beat the meta growth, and if it's an agility growth, I can still Kinda beat it with a Skarmory, even if that's a yellow Skarm.
Exactly. So now we're gonna see a HP Crown come out, and he just booms.
Yeah.
Get rid of Skarm. So Doggy's gonna come out here. You were probably trying to catch maybe Celebi there.
Yeah. And then I will just trade my Cradle to the Snorlax because I like the chip damage on it. I'll check it with Tyranitar, not risking a Focus Punch on the switch. And yeah, next time Lax will take spikes, the show will be killing it. Milo cannot beat Bliss plus Milo. Celebi cannot beat Titar plus Doug, so I'm just trying to think about what will be the last one on X-Ray's team, and if I can beat the last one, then I'm winning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost thinking it's gonna be like a Gyarados or something. He needs something in the air anyway to dodge EQs. Or
Salamence can be Salamence too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're actually seeing here that you're faster. You are running quite a bit of speed on this Milo.
Yeah.
He opts not to go out to Lax here.
He's going live, but I think I'm trying to wake up here, maybe, or I am adding Tyranitar, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to wake up, not risking Earthquake or Fox Punch or so on. Marvel's Call makes that I am taking this Lax pretty well, so I'm just, I know I'm faster than his Milotic, so I can stay and just try to, yeah. I'm even stacking it because I want to eventually with Doctor. Yeah.
You're taking 0 from these. That is max sleep turns twice in a row, so that's pretty annoying, but not a big deal.
It's okay. Okay, so Salamence. So I'm going Blissey, and I think I'm clicking T-Wave to. If it's a Speed F D-Demons, I'm not killing it with Ice Beam, so I think I'm clicking T-Wave, right? So yeah. So I'm guaranteeing the win, Kinda. Because I can like sack Doctor right here. Okay, so I'm softballing because I like to take risk, but I think I could like sack Doctor and Dragon Skill with Titar and win the game. Yeah, that's what I do right now. I don't know why I took that risk earlier, but yeah, it's fine.
But so here you're just gonna go ahead and slide. We know that his Celebi does not have anything ready to hit Titar. Maybe Ancient Power or Shadow Ball. You just simply go for the HP Bug here just to take him out. He goes.
Yeah, Milo comes, but toxic, so I'm really fine. I'm going Blissey. It may try to hypnosis me, but maybe I'm even to bring Titar here to take the Cyclose, maybe. Yeah, I'm doing that, and he eats that, and right now it's over because I can out Blissey and just win the game right away.
Yeah.
Unless I get like crit twice on Surf, but that's one time.
So we do think that you kill after Sand, that is, and then there's just nothing he can do here. He forfeits. That's the game. He's using a pretty well-known team. I see Lanier using it a lot. It's SD pass into your Laxes, your Agilagros, Solomons. Just really offensive team. But this is just another archetype that we're seeing you beat here. So this was a variant of your team that was running YOLO Skarm.
Yeah.
You did that little adjustment just because X-Ray loves Mag.
Yeah.
But usually you wouldn't run that, but it's definitely viable there. Usually you wouldn't run it because you have Dog anyway, but...
Yeah, but it's okay, even if you don't face Magaton, Euroscam can do the job because it just set up spikes, and you don't really need Skarmory as a sturdy wall on this team. And actually, on modern IDV, I don't like using Skarmory as a sturdy wall. I like using it as a soft check and a spiker because there is MiloDol, there is a lot of stuff that Skarmory, and I like to double check stuff with Tyranitar or things like that, or Claydol, and not relying on Skarmory. So you can go Euroscarm as much as you want with this team. Just try not to do it too much because people will notice and it won't work anymore. But yeah, you can tweak it from time to time, and it will be pretty helpful, as you can see.
Yeah, exactly. It's been doing you wonders. So that's the 3 games, and this team is undeniably going to be super successful at tournament level. It has been for you. It's kind of been your go-to team for a while. Like, people kind of refer to you by this team in ADV a lot. It's kind of funny. Yeah, no, I just wanted to do the video because I really, really like this team. Like, I was thinking about recently with the current meta, you know, what kind of teams are incredibly solid and incredibly reliable that cover all threats, or at least as many as they can at the moment, and this is the team that came to mind. So yeah, thanks for doing the video, Zok. Thanks for coming down today to join me in this little kind of run through of your team. Maybe I might do a part 2 where we have a little ladder session and test the team out live. That's gonna be it for today. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.